Emerging from the Druidan forest with news of the conspirators' demise, you begin your journey to Minas Tirith. As you wake the following day, you see dark plumes of smoke rising across the lands of Arnor. Hello, and welcome back to the Line Unbroken, my series in which I'm playing through each of the scenarios of the Lord of the Rings living card game in turn, using only cards which were available at the time of the release, in imitation of the existing LOTR LCG progression series. Here I'm playing the third scenario of the Against the Shadow cycle, Encounter at Amon Din. So, setup, we set Gulat aside out of play, put Lord Alcaron into play, make Burning Farmhouse the active location. It has villagers 4, so we put 4 resources on here to represent the villagers who will be dying in that Burning Farmhouse, and the rescued villagers and dead villagers' objectives to the staging area. I prefer to move them out of the staging area to leave room for the regular staging and just put them to one side. These obviously track the number of villagers we have rescued or failed to rescue. Then shuffle the encounter deck and reveal 1 encounter card per player and add it to the staging area. So, another Burning Farmhouse, another 4 villagers on there, and Burnt Homestead Surge. Raise each player's threat by the number of damage tokens on dead villagers. That's currently 0, but it does surge. And an Orc Rabble. Alright. So, yes, I took a mulligan on this hand, which I possibly shouldn't have, but I did. And this I also took a mulligan looking for Protector of Lorien. So, in a smouldering village near Amon Din, you find none other than a tired Lord Alcaron. Pleased to see you, he requests your assistance in protecting the village. Villagers 5. When progress would be placed on Savagery of the Orcs, move an equal number of villager tokens from this quest onto rescued villagers instead. If there are no villager tokens on Savagery of the Orcs, advance to the next stage. So, Control N. And draw an extra card for Bilbo. This deck draws a card. Alright, so let's see. I definitely want to play one of these weapons so that I can trigger Foe Hammer with it. Don't want to spend too many resources because getting Citadel Plate into play could be very handy. So, let's see. I do have an Unexpected Courage over here. So so this deck is basically going to play these two. I mean, Ancient Malum would also be nice, but I can't really guarantee that I'll explore a location due to my idiosyncratic setup. So, that being the case, let's see. I will put I'll put the Blade of Gondolin onto Gimli. Actually, no. I will put it on Boromir. And that will be that. And over here, Unexpected Courage onto Gimli. And Protector of Lorien onto, let's see, over here or over here? Here I can definitely discard Glare-Wine. Over here I can probably discard the Spear of the Citadel. Definitely going to be drawing more cards. Yeah, let's put it on Boromir. So, we have 3 threat in the staging area, so let's quest for 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. I could send Lord Alcaron. There's something could remove villages, so let's just go with this. Okay, lots of burning farmhouses and Gondolin Hamlet. So I've added another 3 threat, and I make 2 progress. If I were to discard 3 cards, I would clear this burning farmhouse, which is probably a good idea. So let's discard a Spirit of the Citadel and Gondorian Discipline twice over. Add that to the victory display, and I have rescued 4 villagers. And so let's travel to the Gondorian Hamlet and engage this Orc rabble. Deal a shadow card, so it's attacking for 3. Gimli will defend. A +1 attack for each damage token on dead villagers, which is none, so Gimli only takes 1 damage. I've raised my threat by 1 to ready Boromir, so that he can perform the killing blow and allow me to trigger Foe Hammer. Alright, so at the end of the round, discard 1 villager token from Burning Farmhouse. But, okay, so Control R. Response: after a villager token is discarded, exhaust Lord Alcaron to place that villager token on a location instead. So I will do that, but I can only do it for 1 Burning Farmhouse. So 1 of the villagers is dead, but the other one I have moved from the farmhouse into the hamlet. Control N. Alright, so let's play down this. Oh, no. Draw an extra card for Bilbo. And actually, I'm not sure if I want to play the Ancient Madam, because I really want this deck to be the one drawing lots of cards. So possibly just play nothing. Yep, play nothing over here. Here, I definitely want to play this Envoy of Pelargir, because she helps with questing, and then let's put a Citadel plate onto Gimli. Now there is 2 threat in the staging area, so let's quest for 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. We reveal an Orc Arsonist and another Gondorian Hamlet. So that's 5 threat. I make 2 progress. I would like to make 2 more. So I don't really need Defender of Ramas. And I mean, Citadel plate is expensive, but I may well be able to afford it. Let's just. Should I discard Khazad or Citadel? Let's discard Khazad. 2 additional progress. Add to the victory display, and I've rescued another 4 villagers. I'll travel to another Gondorian hamlet. Engage this Orc Arsonist. I'm still never sure whether... I feel like you don't deal a shadow card to the Orc Arsonist, because when it engages... But, I mean, that's the thing. When it engages, is it considered to be engaged at the point when it triggers? So actually, I'll do it. And then it gets an additional shadow card at the start of the combat phase. Now it's attacking for 3. I'll have Gimli defend. I was considering taking undefended to potentially get more damage, but Destroys a character. Should have taken it undefended. I mean, he has 9 total hit points. But never mind. Discard those, and Bjorn smashes the orc. So we control R once again, exhaust Alcaron to save one of these villages and move it into a hamlet. And control N. Okay. So I don't know that I really want to play anything over here. I may just, so I'll just leave that. Well, now over here, now I want to play the Ancient Madam. And I could play Gleowine. On the other hand, having Ravens of the Mountain available could be useful. So I think I may leave it. And so, we quest against 2 threat for 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Doomed 2. Discard 1 villager token from the active location for each player in the game. If no villager tokens were removed by this effect, gains Surge. Okay. 2 dead villagers trapped inside. And a Gondorian hamlet. Villagers 3. So that's 2 additional threat. And I make 5 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add this to the victory display. And another 2 rescued villagers. And draw 3 cards for the Ancient Madam. And let's travel to yet another Gondorian hamlet. Oh yeah, I was thinking of using Ravens of the Mountain, which is no good if I actually quest with Bilbo. But it works. I mean, I suppose I could have used it during the refresh phase. No enemies to deal with. So, I guess that's that then. You control N. And, of course, Lord Alcaron has to once again exhaust to move one of these villagers from a farmhouse into a hamlet. And drawing an extra card for Bilbo. Daron's Runes. Okay, so I'll obviously discard the superfluous copy of Gleowine. Good Harvest. Leadership. Make Bilbo the Steward of Gondor. So I can now play Gleowine and exhaust him to have this deck draw a card. And having Lorian's Wealth, certainly an idea. Ravens of the Mountain, still a possibility. I'll pay 2 for this Envoy Pelagio and add a resource back to Bilbo since he now has the Gondor trait. And then, yeah, let's play Lorian's Wealth to have this deck draw 3 more cards. Still haven't found Trained for War, though I do have a Book of Eldercar at least. Now, planning over here, well, let's see, I can afford another citadel plate for Gimli, so he is all tanked up. The Gondorian shield for Boromir. And perhaps I should leave it at that. Oh, hang on, let me take that back and say I play an envoy of Power Gear, adding resource back to Boromir, and then pay for the Gondorian shield, since at present we are still questing with willpower. So, once again, 2 threat in the staging area. Request 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. Or Ravager, discard 1 villager token from the active location. Alright. And rolling orc, so that's 4 threat I've added. So I make 5 progress. 4, 5. If I were to discard 3 cards to Protector of Lorien, I would immediately advance to stage 2. Could be worth a try, so let's discard that, that, and that. And so we immediately advance. The orcs pillaging Anorian are remnants of the army defeated at Carandros, stranded on the western bank of the Anduin. They are now punishing the local population. One of the roving bands is led by a cunning orc captain by the name of Gulat. You must stop Gulat and his orcs, or many innocents will die. Add Gulat to the staging area. If an attack goes undefended, discard X villager tokens from rescued villagers instead of damaging a hero. X is the amount of damage that would have been dealt. And when the players defeat the stage, end the game. Compare the number of tokens on rescued villagers to the number of tokens on dead villagers. And of course this is a victory display, and I've rescued another 3 villagers. So I'm not really concerned about failing on those grounds. Just the fact that, of course, Gulat currently has 5 attack. It would obviously have potentially been better if I could have advanced sooner while there were less dead villagers. But it's difficult to do that with such limited willpower. Of course, under a lot of circumstances, you sometimes want to be careful about advancing too soon, because then you suddenly have to deal with a boss enemy and you might not be prepared. In this case, of course, with a monotactics deck, I'm well prepared to take on a boss enemy, so it's really not a concern. Now, I think I'm just not going to bother travelling to these burning farmhouses. It is sad that the villagers will die in them, but the quest points compared to the threat, I mean, unless I draw trained for war, of course, at which point I can quest for tons. But, well, no. I will try to rescue as many villagers as I can. Go for the moral stand rather than the more pragmatic approach. So, okay, so the marauding orc is the only thing that will naturally engage here, so I'll option all that, and the other 2 will come down naturally here. So, shadows. Now, it would be good if I had a feint for Gulat. Well, obviously I have the feint, but I spent all my resources. I wasn't actually anticipating advancing this round. So, let's see. Well, how many hit points does Gimli have? 11. So I'm going to... Oh, but I can't take undefended attacks. Because the damage would go on dead villagers. So this is incredibly annoying. I need more readying effects for Gimli. So let's just have Gimli defend against Gulat. So when he attacks, we place the damage on dead villagers. So he's now attacking for 6. This attack will not destroy a character though. Now let's raise my threat by 1 to ready Boromir and have him defend here. And let's just have Bjorn take this one. Defending player raises its threat by 1 for each damage on dead villagers. Okay, I need to play this Skeleton's Greeting as soon as possible. And Bjorn takes 2 damage. So it would take 10 attack to kill Gulat, which I do not have. Since he's an orc, Boromir would be 4. Bjorn's 5. So I'd actually be only 1 short. But can't be helped. I will raise my threat by 1 to ready Boromir and have him attack this Orc Ravager. 4 because it's an Orc Blade of Gondolin. So I place a progress. And Bjorn can kill this. Of course, note, while Gulat is in play, the game cannot end. So, okay. We refresh. I'll exhaust Lord Alcaron to place this villager back in the same farmhouse that it came from. Let's exhaust Steward. Now, I could potentially do Ravens of the Mountain at this point, but on the other hand, I can afford Lorien's Wealth. So I think that's going to be the better option. So Control N. Draw an extra card for Bilbo. Glareline. And Lorien's Wealth. I have 3 copies of Trained for War in this deck, and they are all in the bottom 22 cards. Okay, so I need to keep a resource back for Feint. What's in my discard pile? Okay, so I may as well play a Book of Eldacar onto Boromir. Oh. I'm also going to play the Gladwin's Greeting at this point to drop this deck back down to 43 threat. Okay, so I can spend 1 more resource. I could play a Vassal. Could play Mighty Prowess. Don't really need it though. Let's just put my Feints together. And the Trollshell Scouts together. Let's play the Vassal. So, there is 1 threat in the staging area. So let's quest for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Reveal. Panicked. Each player must take a villager token from rescued villagers and place it on a location in the staging area if able. Okay. So the villagers we've rescued run back into the burning farmhouse. And secluded farmhouse. Village 2. So that's 3 threat I've added. So I'm making 7 progress. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Victory display. 1 more rescued villager. I have to reveal a card from the encounter deck to travel to the secluded farmhouse. Still a good idea though. So we get a marauding orc. Not really bothered by that. So let's engage that marauding orc. Play Feint on Gulat. So he does not attack, so I don't add an extra damage to dead villagers. And now marauding orc. Let's see, unless I want to use up my vassal, I need Gimli for the attack on Gulat. I really wish that I could take it undefended, but the quest card blocks me there, because undefended attacks will discard tokens from rescued villagers rather than damaging a hero, whereas I would really like to just be able to damage a hero. Druid Gimli. So let's raise my threat by 1 and have Boromir defend. +1 and another shadow. So that's total of +2 against Boromir's 4 defense. So I could discard, or I could discard the Book of Eldercar to play Gondorian Discipline from my discard pile, cancelling 2 points of damage just dealt to a Gondor character, and then putting Gondorian Discipline on the bottom of my deck per the Book of Eldercar. So now Gimli is attacking for 8, beyond that's another 5, and Gulat is dead. And I can't kill this marauding orc without readying Boromir and giving up my eagle. So we control N, and of course during the refresh phase Lord Arnor exhausts to take the dying villager from this farmhouse and move it to this farmhouse instead. Okay, let's square one to draw another card. Still no trained for war. Okay, so let's see. Over here, I am not playing anything. Over here, let's play a Defender of Ramus to conserve Boromir's threat. And that'll be it. So now let's quest 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 versus 1. Scourge of Mordor. I'll do it. Okay. Spirit Citadel and good meal. So that increases the threat in the staging area by 2. It's good meal is free. That was handy. And mark arsonist for another 3. So I'm making 5 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can discard some cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to play all of them. And let's travel to this burning farmhouse. Gauge here, which deals shadows, and then they get their standard shadows. So, the Defender of Ramus will defend against the Orc Arsonist. Okay, gets another 2 shadow cards. Plus 1 attack, deal it another shadow card. Move this to show the character. So that was only plus 1 attack, so it's still only 4, and the Defender of Ramus lives. I really did not expect that. I thought he was dead for sure. I'll just feint this one. And so give me a Bjorn can kill both of those. Oh, there's 1 card left in the encounter deck. Okay, so in the refresh phase, of course, Lord Alpron has to exhaust to move this villager from the burning farmhouse back into the burning farmhouse. Bilbo is going to pay 1 and exhaust for Ravens of the Mountain. So, what is this 1 card? It's a secluded farmhouse, so I put 3 progress on the quest. And I know what the first card of staging is. Control N. Finally found Trained for War. Draw an additional card for Bilbo. That being the case, natural draw, and there we go. Okay. So let's pay 3 to drop this deck down to 40. I already had that Felhammer, but Boromir didn't attack, and he's the one with the weapon. So, okay. Let's pay 1 for a Book of Eldacar. That'll be it for planning. And you know what? Let's pay 1 for Ravens of the Mountain and exhaust Pippin. The top card of the encounter deck, indeed the only card of the encounter deck, is still that same secluded farmhouse, so it's still 3. And now I'll pay 2 in the quest phase for Trained for War. So, until the end of the phase, if the current quest has no keyword, it gains Battle. Or, yes, of course, this has been... I think that this has been errated, so it's specifically, if the current quest does not have Siege, it gains Battle, since we got more keywords later on. So, still quest, let's throw it up. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 13, 21, 24, 27, 30. 30 against 0. And we reveal this secluded farmhouse. We shuffle the deck and get trapped inside. Doomed 2. And this would gain Surge, so I'm just going to play a Test of Will on it. 3 threat in the staging area, 27 progress. So 36 out of 15. Gulat is not in play, so I can end the game and compare the number of damage of resources on rescued villagers to the number of damage on dead villagers. 21 rescued villagers to 7 dead, and thus I have won the game. So yeah, that basically worked. It wasn't quite as intended. I figured I'd get trained for war sooner. Of course, the plan was to pretty much have either 2 copies of Trained for War or 1 copy of Trained for War and Book of Eldacar, so that I could play it a second time. So I'd use it once to push through Stage 1 and a second time to push through Stage 2 after killing Gulat. Since, obviously, as we saw, I can put up massive attack values for battle questing. And things like Protector of Lorien and the Envoy's Willpower, those were mostly intended just to stave off threat raises from questing unsuccessfully until I could get... Oh, yeah, I had a secret path there, so I'll just add 3 more progress. Yes, until I could get the whole Trained for War thing set up. Obviously there, it took me a bit longer to draw Trained for War than I anticipated, and I probably could have completed the quest just on willpower in the end, but never mind. It worked, the principle was sound, and of course I knew that this quest has a reputation for being a very easy one, which is why I figured I could afford to just muck about a bit. So that worked. Took me a bit longer than it might have if my deck draws had been a bit more favourable. And of course, Bjorn and Gimli are not the most score-friendly heroes, because they have to take damage to be... well, they end up taking damage. Anyway, this all worked pretty well. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.